Shin Megami Tensei Synchronicity Prologue is an amazing game that doesn't get talked about enough. Now, let's start this off with a little background. Shin Megami Tensei Synchronicity Prologue is a PC-developed title by Denfemi Nico, Game Magazine's Ladybug team. It was released as a free limited-time download on Atlas Japan's official website from October 16th to December 24th, 2017. The game was first teased in a Japanese trailer for Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redux, also known as Deep Strange Journey, on October 13th, 2017, where it was initially presented as a joke, drawing strong positive reactions from viewers. Just 3 days later, it was officially revealed to be a fully playable title, released as part of the Megami Tensei series' 25th anniversary celebration, and as part of a promotional tie-in for Strange Journey Redux. Synchronicity Prologue is an SMT game like no other, because it's not a typical RPG. It's a Metroidvania, and it's an incredibly fun one at that. But, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. When you actually get into the game, you start off on a computer desktop, where you are sent a program that is going to help the world's future. Off to the side, you can see a bunch of news articles about the world going to shit. You run the Synchronicity program and find someone to synchronize. You end up with Jack Frost in the Schwarzbelt. And then from there, it lets you explore what this new world has to offer. Now, before I get any further into a gameplay or story analysis, let me say this. This game is beautiful. The sprite work being showcased in this game is phenomenal. The extreme simplicity matched with the detail is immaculate, leading me to want more characters in this game. I'm still extremely happy with what we got, but people can just make their own sprites, like these ones I made. This game's art style is amazing, and it's one that the developers used quite often. But let's get back to the story. The story of this game is incredibly simple, as it takes place shortly before the events of Strange Journey. After defeating the first boss in the game, the Jack Bros meet a demon that calls himself Jay. Jay is the transformed consciousness of the programmer Jones, the first test subject of the synchronization program. He fell into a coma when his mind was transformed into an animal man inside the Schwarzwelt. You may find little hints of him saying who he tried to synchronize with, leading to the reveal that he attempted to synchronize with Black Frost. However, it went berserk, causing him to split and lose his memories. As the Jack Bros travel through the game, they find other demons that want to kill Black Frost but are too scared to do so. Then, when they finally get their hands on Black Frost and end up defeating him, Jay informs the two bros about his synchronization, and requests that they kill Black Frost, saying it should return him back to the living world as a human. Depending on if the Jack Bros collected all of the collectibles throughout the game, he's either right or he dies. There's no actual impact on the story of Strange Journey whether he lives or dies, but it's nice if he lives. And with that one paragraph, that sums up the entire story of Synchronicity Prologue. It is incredibly bare bones, but you do have to remember this was a free promotional game, and the best part of this game is its gameplay. So let's get into the gameplay. Now, like I said before, this game is a 2D platformer Metroidvania, with the standard rule of making contact with an enemy damages you. You initially start with only controlling Jack Frost, but very quickly you will rescue a Pyro Jack that you will synchronize with, allowing you to control both of them. Pyro Jack hovers above the ground slightly and moves a little slower. The moon phase mechanic is also in the game, where MP recovery is faster during full moons, but you won't really notice it. I certainly didn't. Jack Frost feels great to control. He has a horizontal ice projectile that deals moderate damage, If in the air, holding down and the attack button will allow you to shoot downwards ice projectiles. Spamming this attack can allow you to almost hover. You can hold down the main attack key and charge up an attack that will let you shoot a large ice projectile to freeze enemies. When an enemy is frozen, all attack damage will be halved. Just with Jack Frost, there's already a lot you can do, but remember, you travel as a duo. Pyro Jack fires 3 projectiles with a slight spread, and it can be aimed in 8 cardinal directions. Like Jack Frost, he has a charge attack that fires 1 stronger, larger projectile that pierces through enemies and obstacles. This one does not have a secondary effect though. An interesting tidbit is that Pyro Jack can hover slightly higher than Jack Frost's max jump height. After the 2 Jack Bros have been brought together, this is where the main mechanics of the game fall into place. Switching between the 2 is essential, as their elemental weaknesses and resistances are swapped. As you can imagine, Jack Frost is weak to fire and nullifies ice, and Pyro Jack is weak to ice and nullifies fire. By switching between the 2, you can gain those elemental weaknesses and resistances. Plus, with a little exploration, you can find the first skill, Mabufu, allowing you to use MP between the 2 characters to cast powerful extra skills. There's a skill for every element to give the bros coverage. Through the game, you can travel through 5 stages. Ruin, which is Sector Atlantia. Power, which is Sector Booties, specifically inside the palace. Greed, which is Sector Carnina. Temptation, which is Sector Booties in the streets. And Paradise, which is Sector Herudium. I do find it interesting that there wasn't an area based on the new content added in Strange Journey Redux. It doesn't really have anything to do with the game, I just figured it'd be there since it was a promotional tie-in. Every area in the game has around 5 enemies and a different gimmick to make them feel unique. The ruins are the simplest, as they are the first area, and they have ice block puzzles, where Pyro just needs to melt them. Power has my favorite gimmick in the entire game, by having a mechanic very similar to phase shifting from the base Strange Journey, where you have to hit these candelabras on the wall that make platforms and walls disappear and reappear. This introduced a ton of fun platforming and puzzles, leading this to be my favorite area. Greed dials it back a little bit, making its main gimmick be moving floors, escalators, and elevators. I felt this sector was the laziest with its collectibles, as most of them were just hidden behind the foreground, making it feel like everything found here was just by chance. The only item in this area that didn't feel like it was by chance is the reward you get for defeating the boss at the end of the area, the Mini Demonica, which transforms you into Demon Eho, changing Jack Frost's basic attack from ice to gun. Temptation introduces catapults, poison gas, and even a boulder chase scene. The catapults are used by launching Thoth up into the air and having them land back down to launch Jack Frost into the sky. The poison gas is there to force you to use Demon Eho, so it really doesn't add anything to the area besides making it feel a little more unique. Putting the boulder chase scene at the very end is where this area shines, putting you in a situation where all you can do is run. But if you manage to get behind it, you could just watch it crush all of the slimes, which is really satisfying. The last area, being Paradise, is a simple, short area using the unkillable Aliot and Huang Long as the main obstacles, as you're supposed to jump from moving block to moving block. Unfortunately, the area isn't as tense as they want it to be, because you can just pick Pyro Jack and fly over everything, and he's immune to almost all of the elemental damage. So, Huang Long is the only real dangerous thing. besides Mott. Fuck that guy. The real meat and potatoes of this area is the boss rush. But I haven't talked about the bosses yet, so let's do that first. There are 5 bosses in this game, being Bifrons, Dekorabia, Alice, Giri Makala, and Black Frost. Each boss in this game has a gimmick and little reason to actually fight you. Bifrons is the first boss being found in ruins. He wants to kill you for the fact that you smell like a human. His boss fight is rather simple, using ice and fire attacks that showcase that you will have to switch characters to not take damage. With his weakness to ice and the early skill you get, the Jack Bros can defeat him easily, and then he'll run away, just to come back at the end of power to give a little more detail about the world, and then dies in the boss rush. Dekorabia is the second boss being found in power. He wants to kill the Jack Bros for intruding in his area and smelling like humans again. He uses electrical attacks that neither of the bros can nullify, and the way that you're supposed to dodge his attacks is by using the phase-shifting candelabras to make blocks appear to block his lasers. Alice is the third boss, and she's located in Greed. When the Jack Bros find her, she asks if they can play with her. They say they're short on time, but they do eventually cave in and say they'll play with her, where she then asks her famous question, "Will you?" And then the boss fight ensues. Alice fights by flying around and throwing cards at the Jack Bros. After a while, she'll throw up some large cards that summon demon knights that fire ice and fire projectiles at you, requiring fast switching to ensure no damage is taken. Alice does have one last attack though, where she summons an Iron Maiden to crush the Jack Bros. I don't really know why she does it, but it's cool. And one last boss before the final one, good old Giri Makala. He's a pretty simple fight. He jumps around, swings a sword, and fires poison gas balls and a poison gas cloud out of his nose. He does have a charge attack where he lunges towards the Jack Bros, dealing big damage. And after dropping his health down, he unleashes a new attack where he summons blue and red orbs from the sky that fire down ice and fire attacks, requiring switching between the Jack Bros to avoid damage. Are you noticing the pattern? The final boss is Black Frost, and he has a variety of attacks. That being basic fireballs and ice blasts, a volley of small fireballs beneath him, summoning frozen rocks and burning debris to fall upon you from the sky, shooting a purple sphere that stones you, or just jumping into you. He's incredibly fast and agile in his first form, but once he enters his second form, he's in the background, and you have to attack his head to deal damage. Thankfully, the body does not have a hitbox anymore. This form attacks constantly, switching between ice and fire, are pretty much just stronger versions of his basic attacks he used in his first form. And that leads me to my main problem with this fight. Black Frost nulls ice and resists fire, meaning the only real way you can damage him is by using Demon EO. And the complaint isn't really a big one, it's just kinda dumb that you can only use one character to actually damage the boss. But once you defeat him, Jave requests that you kill him so that he can go back to being a human. And like I said, depending on if you collected everything in the game, he either lives or dies. But wait, what collectibles are there? Let's get into that. In this game, there are 6 collectibles. The Muscle Rings, the Mental Rings, the Odin Rings, the Life Rings, the God Ring, and the Unlock Cube. The Muscle Rings and Mental Rings increase max HP and MP by 10, respectively, and are found in every area, while the Odin Rings increase MP recovery time and are found in Ruin and Power. The life rings increase HP recovery time and are found in Greed and Temptation. The unlocked cube is found in Power and opens previously locked doors so you can progress the main story. The God Ring is the last collectible in the main story, found in Paradise, and increases the HP and MP recovery time. But remember, that's not all. There's also 4 elemental skills and the Demonica suit: Mabufu, Miragi, Mazio, Mazan, and the mini Demonica armor. If you're watching this video and you want to save a little time, Mabufu is found up here. Just melt the ice block with Pyrojack and you can get it. The muscle ring is just above it but requires the unlock cube to get it. To get the mental ring, it's hidden behind a breakable wall. And the 4 pieces of the Odin ring are found under this ice block at the start, this breakable wall, in this main hallway, and hidden above a non-solid ceiling in the water section. In Power, Mazio is found at the top of all of the corridors. Miragi is found on the other side of the first save point. The muscle ring is found above this save point. The mental ring is found behind this destructible wall in the corner. The 4 pieces of the life ring are found in the phase shifted area of the first platforming challenge, on top of this platform in the platforming corridors, above the crashed ship, and under the bridge of the pathway out. In Greed, Mazan is found past all of these poltergeists. The muscle ring is found in a hidden room with Hiho in it. The mental ring is found above this elevator in the top right. The 4 pieces of the life ring are found behind this pillar in the foreground, behind this banner next to the secret room, above the elevator where you turn the power on, and this area over the conveyor belts. In Temptation, the mental ring is found behind this breakable wall below the top save point, only after the main switch is pressed. The muscle ring is found in this hidden room across from a save point behind a breakable wall. The 4 pieces of the life ring are found in this room next to the main entrance, behind this Thoth. The next one is behind a breakable wall next to this Sandman. There's one right behind the teleporter room. And the last one is either at the start and or end of the boulder chase scene. In Paradise, the muscle ring is hidden behind a breakable wall in the bottom right corner with Wang Long. The mental ring is hidden behind a breakable wall on the right side of the room after the Giri Makalo refight. The first piece of the God Ring is hidden beneath the lava in the starting room. The next one is sitting in the middle of the main path. There's a piece hidden behind a breakable wall above the vending machines after the Giri Makalo refight. The last part of the ring is on the other side of the drop to the Black Frost fight. The collectibles in this game don't really change the power dynamic, but it still is fun to find them, so it's passable. Now, I didn't really have any other place in the video to put this, so I'm just going to put it here. To include some fun trivia, Jack the Ripper was meant to be a playable character, but he was cut due to time constraints, leading me to say that this was, in full essence, meant to be a Jack Bros sequel. And Yerlunger was an enemy, but he was cut because of time constraints, and his sprite was reused for the Golden Gates right before Black Frost. With everything that I've said throughout this video, I do truly believe that this is one of the best experiences in Mega 10. It's a free game that is incredibly simple and a fast playthrough, and it's a love letter disguised as a promotional game. If you haven't played this game, do yourself a favor and download it. With or without the translation patch, it's a fun hour-and-a-half playthrough, and it's worth every bit of your time. That's all I have to say. Give the video a like if you liked it, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me if I got anything wrong or if I missed something that's important. If more information comes out, I might even make another video about it. Thanks for your time, see you in the next video.